Hey everyone, Michelle here with my second video. I just wanted to start this off by thanking everyone for the support and the really positive response I got to my first video and launching my channel. I honestly didn't expect this kind of reaction at all. Thought maybe a few people might be interested, but I feel so loved and supported by all of the likes and the DMs and the comments and the shares. So just thank you so much. So my original plan for this video was to not make it at all and just upload my conference videos. So those would be the Google Cloud Next session that I did, the Looker Join session, and my part in the Looker JOIN Keynote. Because of some copyright questions, I would just rather not have to go through the process of getting approval and downloading and re-uploading. So I have the links to those talks in the description below. So let me walk you through the order that I think you should watch those in. First is I suggest you watch my keynote. It is about 8 minutes long. It'll give you the best kind of view of if you're interested in the content and you want to learn more. If you like the keynote and you want to learn more about what it is that I built and just hear a little bit more about my product, watch the Looker Join session. That one I think is probably the best session that you can watch where I feel the most comfortable, and you can get my own advice about thoughts to consider when building a data platform. So I got to do my own little section at the end there. The third video, and I recommend you watch this because I learned so much from this, is my Google Cloud Next session. You don't have to watch the whole thing. It's a lot of the repeat content from the Looker session. But what I learned from that, and what you should keep in mind if you ever want to speak at conferences or present about something that you work on, is that no matter how much you think you may know how to talk about something, for example, you might be able to explain it to your friends, you might have a lot of general knowledge about something, you might have a very hard time talking about it publicly if you don't practice. I had this challenge a lot with talking about UiPath. I've been at this company for over 4 years. I know what we do inside and out. I just really struggled from a messaging perspective to be able to kind of eloquently describe what it is that we do. And I just have to say, I look at the way our execs speak about the company and my mind is blown because I listen to them and I'm like, wow, yes, this is exactly right. Would never be able to repeat it myself without practice. I generally don't practice a lot when I talk about my product just because I eat, sleep, breathe my product. So it's very easy for me to discuss. I already know exactly what the messaging is. I feel really passionate about it. It's pretty much my life. So I don't really have to practice for that. And I assumed that the same would be true about UiPath because again, I work here, I love this company, I know exactly what we do. It was not the case. I sound like a robot for the first couple of minutes of that session until I got to jump into my product content and specifically around messaging for our leadership in the Gartner quadrant. That one was, I think, one of the hardest for me because I had a very specific line that I had to say, and I had to be very, very strict about not deviating from it. And it was a real learning experience for me because generally when I do presentations, again, it's always about my product. So I kind of just wing it. I never really practice because I know the content. But for this one, I definitely should have practiced more. And you will see that yourself. Also in the Q&A at the end, when I answer some questions, I was definitely caught off guard by some of them. So I seemed a little surprised. I would highly recommend you do not seem surprised when somebody asks you questions during a conference session. So with that, I'll let you take a watch. And in my next video, I will be talking about a day in the life of a PM. All right. Thanks, everyone.